I'm Catherine Ross, and I'm here live from the floor of the NYSU with Jim Cramer. Jim, what's on top of your mind this morning?
Not the mystery virus, because I covered that yesterday, and that's hotels, and that's airlines, and that's high-end jewelry, and it's makeup, Estee Lauder. No, I want to cover Netflix. And the reason I want to cover Netflix is a, I'd say it's an analog for this entire market. They report a quarter. It's roundly criticized. People think that they've lost their way. People think that America's slowing. What happens? It goes down 9, and then it falls 25, and then more today. So that is a situation where a lot of people have given up on it, and they come right back. That's what you must remember. The resilience of the winners. Resilience.
So I know that you said that you covered the coronavirus yesterday, and we did, and you said wait till Monday, but now we've got Disney Shanghai closing down.
You got to buy Disney in stages. Disney's having a remarkable year, and next year will be good because it's Disney Plus. So you try to think to yourself, when could I have gotten Disney? Because you never thought it was going to come down. Now that it's coming down for exogenous reasons, and I don't regard the statements from Comcast as really impacting Disney because there's so much going for it, you have to buy Disney in stages. You do. I mean, it's just, you can't, I'm not saying that they're going to solve this virus. And you're going to say, why didn't I buy Disney? That's what you're going to say.
But the World Health Organization said that they're not going to announce that it's a global health emergency yet.
I mean, that to me, I hate to say that they're complacent. I would like to know, here's what we don't know. If you get it, what happens? How do they treat it? What are the percentages? I mean, the flu is just regular old influenza, unfortunately kills so many people. Is this any worse than that? I mean, we lack even, I know people are saying that China's much more transparent than they were with SARS. Give me a break. Give me a break. I mean, I'm from Philadelphia. This Wuhan, it was like if Philadelphia was in charge of this virus. It's like, hey, we're fine. Let's continue to go to sports games. So I just find the Chinese are doing it again, getting away with murder. That seems to be their stock in trade. And everyone just in the mainstream media says, hey, listen, they're great. I'm sick of it, obviously.
I want to switch gears, and I want to talk about our real money stock of the day, which is Intel after it posted stellar earnings.
There was some firm that downgraded it, and I questioned, did they read the conference call? The data center, the step up in spend is rather amazing. We had thought a slowdown in data center, well, it came roaring back. The PC is incredibly strong. The fourth quarter was amazing for PC. They have great 5G even, but the data center means look out above for AMD, although AMD's run a lot. And then NVIDIA, action alert name NVIDIA, which is, I think, still best in show. And this is fabulous for NVIDIA. Fabulous.
So, Jim, before we go, there is one thing that you and I have talked about a lot off camera, and that's cult stocks. And we talked about, creating a cult stock index.
Right. I know that you're in touch with the Robinhood types. I mean, Robinhood meaning young people, I think, who are going to hurt in the earth. By the way, American Express, 50% of the new cards, millennial. And I'd like to know what you're thinking about right now in terms of cult stocks.
So I've got 5 stocks that I think that we should start including in our index. And I just want to clarify that I've been reading a lot about the definition of a cult stock and how Tesla can be considered a cult stock. And I think that one thing that's missing from the definition is a strong CEO type. Someone who is large and in charge, and you know that company by the CEO.
Large and in charge. Jimmy Chill likes that.
Right? I thought you might. So, of course, Tesla made it on that list.
Yeah. I tweeted, Elon came back and said Happy Chinese New Year, and I concur with that. And ever since that, I became Jimmy Chill, and at the same time took advice from my daughter to get much more in Tesla. And so then I go sample it. She samples it. My wife samples it. I go through the balance sheet. It's good. It's a $300 stock then. To me, and I know, so I missed it from 200. Sorry, but I would say that. That is the most deserving of cult stocks. And since I embraced it, I have to tell you, my Twitter feed is probably 3/4 Tesla. So let me just say, what I meant by a battery that can last 1,000 miles, for 1,000 miles, is that would then take away gasoline. That would be it. The game says Matt against gasoline, because who wants to pollute the earth and have to fill up much faster? It has nothing to do with what people are saying, which is, Jim, there's no problem. You could do 300, or it's like, and they're going to solve the problem. Like someone was saying, wait a second, Jim. To do that battery life, it would require this battery that would be gigantic. No, this is the famous Robert Noyce, an amazing, brilliant man who was part of the founders of Intel. He went in and said that he was going to come up with a microprocessor that it was going to have the equal power of an IBM mainframe, and it's going to cost $200. And all the critics said, well, that's ridiculous. How are you going to give away something that's the size of a mainframe for $200? He goes, no, it's going to be the size of this. No one believed. Take a look at the stock. The battery is going to be solid. The battery meaning competitor to the combustion engine. And I think it's going to be Elon that solves it. I bank on it.
So for these next 4 stocks, I want to do a lightning round type,
right, sure.
where I just,
No problemo.
All right, Beyond Meat.
Beyond Meat, well, holy cow, that's an ecosystem. They're going to be able to, remember, what does Beyond Meat do? It cut down some methane, animal methane. It's less harmful to the environment, although we always want to know, do they make it? Does it harm the environment? And it's loved by non-vegetarians as well as vegetarians, because there's just the millennials don't like killing animals.
All right, Aurora Cannabis. And I know that Kronos is
it's a cheap dollar stock cannabis. The one that I like, but again, I think that ultimately it's going to be Constellation Brands. Okay, that's going to be your cannabis company, which is Cannabis, which has new CEOs, very good client.
Virgin Galactic?
That's a short squeeze to me. It's a blank check company, but it's got Virgin, it's got him, it's got Galactic. I mean, it's got every buzzword. That's a perfect Colt stock that just doubled. Colt stocks double. JP Morgan 135.
Now, I know that you love Lisa Su, but AMD?
What can I say? That the read-through from Intel is extraordinary. But remember, last time they reported, stock was at 33, quickly traded down to 30, 31. I went on air and pounded the table and said, you have to buy because it was a great quarter. Next stop, 52. So remember, that last quarter was great. So there could be somebody like the person who downgraded Intel today trying to make a name for herself or himself, and you're going to regret that. It's too early to get off that horse.
So those are our first 5 Colt stocks for the index.
You got to stay on it. This is your index. This is the Catherine Index or KR Index, however you want to call it. But this is going to be something we're going to talk about a long time. So I'm looking for the Ross Index.
All right, you got it.
Right now, the Ross procedure is a very complex 12-hour heart procedure. You're going to do the Ross Index.
Hopefully it doesn't cost 12 hours,
no,
but
that'd be bad.
Yeah. All right, Jim, thanks so much for joining us today. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We are now going to head over to our Action Alerts Plus Daily Rundown show. We're going to talk about Disney and whether or not now is the time to buy. So join us over there. I'm Catherine Ross, and we'll see you on Monday.